Hello, everybody. This is me, the Almighty One, coming at you with a video of some major breaking news that has occurred June the 31st, which was a Friday, which will be now 3 days. Oh, actually 2 days before this video that I'm making with you guys right now. But before I get into this video, please comment, like, share, subscribe, notification bell on top. As always, comment in the comment section below and give me the thumbs up, because the thumbs up is what matters the most. That gets my videos all over social media, YouTube, however you will want to have this video to travel. So, let's get right into it. If you guys haven't heard, well, you probably have if you are a big ESPN fan watcher like me. What I view now, I don't look at ESPN. I ain't saw ESPN probably in the last year, but I do watch some of their broadcasts in shorts on YouTube. And I'm quite sure YouTube has already announced it. If they haven't, you probably need to go and check it out or find where it says ESPN layoffs. You may want to put ESPN layoff 2023 because this is what this video pertains to. ESPN has laid off some very popular figures as far as analysts, former sports players, coaches, however you want to put it. SI, which is Sports Illustrated, has reported the news first. I'm quite sure a lot of other channels have mentioned it as well. Boxing legend Andre Ward was released by ESPN, and along with Doug Kazarian. Is it Kazarian or I'm saying Kazarian. Doug Kazarian, who is a sports betting insider, which means he's the guy who talks about all the sporting books that goes on with the with all the sports, NFL, NBA, hockey, however you want to put it. I think he's the guy who does that job. And so he was let go today by ESPN, along with very popular New York Knicks coach, which I am a fan of, the New York Knicks. Jeff Van Gundy was released today, or should I say released June the 31st. That's probably the controversial firing right there, because this is a guy who not only knows the NBA but also was a coach and a player in the NBA, and he knows it. And so this guy, he coached New York Knicks for many years, and I think he coached the Denver Nuggets at one point as well. So he is a former coach in the league, but his age might be the reason why he would let go. But they all said all this pertains to budget cuts, which is probably true. If it's budget cuts, that means that some of these guys were fired and some of these guys were laid off. But we all know sometimes being laid off is a shortcoming of the term being fired. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you're fired, you don't get no what they call it, salary. What's it called? I can't think of right off, but when you get laid off, you get I'm gonna say a salary. You get a portion of your salary. I'm gonna say that you get a portion of your salary. So a lot of these guys were laid off, and a lot of these guys were fired. If you were fired, you don't get no salary compensation. The ones that laid off will get the salary compensation. So that's how that works. Not only Jeff Van Gundy was fired, but also Vince Carter. Vince Carter was also fired or laid off. If you guys remember, Max Kellerman was the guy who had a ESPN podcast that came on ESPN, along with Keyshawn Johnson, who was also released or laid off, if you will, from the contract as well. Those two were part of that radio cast that talks about the NFL and basketball, along with Jay Williams. And Jay Williams is still there, but from what I've heard, Jay Williams' contract will not be renewed as well. So he probably gonna play out the last of his contract, and then after that, he's gonna be released or let go. We don't know how that goes as well. Popular sports analyst Suzy Kolber. Suzy Kolber was also released or laid off today. I mean, laid off. I don't know why I'm saying today. I mean, laid off June 31st. Todd McShay. Wow, now that's the biggest of all of them. That's the biggest of all of them. Todd McShay. Because we all know Todd McShay was supposed to be the heir apparent to the other ESPN guy who talks about the NFL draft. I forgot his name off the back, but I'll think of it at some point. But Todd McShay was he was let go today. I mean, he was let go on the why I'm saying today. I mean, he was let go on the 31st along with the other guys. So then you got to look at Steve Young was also let go. And Matt Hasselbeck was let go. All that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 players. I mean 10 people or employees, if you will, was let go June 31st. Wow. These are some big names. Everybody in here are big names, but the biggest names is Todd McShay, Suzy Kolber, Keyshawn Johnson, Vince Carter, and Jeff Van Gundy. Those are your big names right there. So those people will find employment somewhere else, or they'll probably do the podcast. I know podcast pays pretty good money, but but it depends on if you want to go that direction or not. And it depends on because we all know podcasts. To do a podcast, you got to have sponsorship. Sponsorship pays your salary. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work out with a lot of these guys, but we'll see in the near future. But like I said, those 5 people right there are the biggest names that was released June 31st by ESPN. They did all this based on budget, which means that a lot of these people was handing out big contracts, major big contracts to stay on ESPN and do their jobs. But I guess they decided to go a different direction. Now for Jeff Van Gundy, they were saying that Richard Jefferson and some other guy was supposed to be the heir apparent to Jeff Van Gundy's job. So that's something to be looking forward to. It sounds like to me that a lot of these people, if you really think about it, now I'm not sure about Andre Ward and Doug Kazarian. I'm not sure about him, Andre Ward. Let me see who else. And Todd McShay. But everybody else, Jeff Van Gundy, Vince Carter, Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, Suzy Kolber, Steve Young, and Matt Hasselbeck. Those people were aging. They either in their late 40s or 50s or 60s. So I will say age might have played a big part in some of these layoffs, maybe, or they might be getting too much salary. That it could be either two or it could be both. So, but those are some big names, and a lot of people are going to find employment somewhere else in the near future. I'm not exactly sure where they're going to land. I know Fox Sports 1 might take up some of these people and bring them on their broadcasting, or they could go to NFL Network, or they could go to the NBA show that's on what's that on TNT. They gonna find some employment somewhere. It's just gonna be kind of hard to figure out where they're gonna go at this point. I'm not gonna figure out where they're gonna go, but I'm quite sure there'll be some announcements somewhere along the future where these people are gonna land at. Wow, I mean, these are some big layoffs, y'all. These are some major big layoffs, and they said there's more to come. So right now, I just gave you guys 10 people that were either laid off or fired from ESPN, and they're saying there's more to come. So we'll be doing another video on that as well. So you guys enjoy your Monday, because tomorrow is the 4th of July. And that's the other thing, too. A lot of these people were cut off, were laid off or fired several, 2 or 3 days before the 4th of July. But I tell you this, though, they ain't broke. I know that much. None of these people that I'm mentioning to you, they ain't broke at all. So they'll probably survive a year or two before they come back, or they may decide to take a rest for a little bit and then come back into broadcasting. We don't know. It's just a lot to be processed and diagnosed up to this point. But we know that these 10 people are not broke. That we do know. Because ESPN had paid them handsomely. Each and every one of them. Some of these folks got renewed deals, and some of these folks were on old deals. So I guess the older deals were a little bit too much, probably because of that or their age, or if they got new contracts and the contract paid them quite a bit of money, that could be also some of the reasons why. But we do know that they did it. They said they did it based on budget cuts. So we don't know how that's going to work out. Like I said, but either way you look at it, though, none of these people are not broke. They're not broke at all. So they'll be all right. And majority of them, it's crazy. Majority of them are, they ain't broke. They really ain't. So they'll be all right. But anyway, again, I'm sorry to keep talking. But anyway, you got to enjoy your Monday. Because like I said, tomorrow the 4th. These folks were released or cut or fired June the 31st. And more to come. I'm out here, y'all. Peace.